important for us to be proactive about our sleeping habits, because as we prepare for the new normal, we might be faced with challenges that might keep us up at night. My name is Rutendo Duri. I am from Zimbabwe. I just finished my final year of engineering, mechatronic engineering. I make robots, which is pretty cool. The effect that the lockdown had on my mental health was severe, because prior to the lockdown, I had uni keeping me busy. I had my part-time jobs keeping me busy, and all of this aided in helping keep my mind at bay. So about 2 weeks before the lockdown, I was re-diagnosed with depression, and I was put on medication and antidepressants. But suddenly when the lockdown came, and I was alone, and I was left to face my own thoughts, I crashed. And I had no one to support me, and everyone was social distancing and keeping to themselves, and so that was really difficult for me. And I started seeing my therapist again. I had to get in touch with my doctor here in Manchester, and my therapist is actually from Zimbabwe, so I couldn't do live visits because those weren't allowed. Not being able to have the face-to-face interaction with my therapist was so difficult, in the sense that I needed someone, and having to just call her instead of seeing her face-to-face, I just felt like I wasn't unburdening all that I had to say. I still had a lot on my chest that I actually hadn't unloaded. One of the side effects of antidepressants that I'm on is that they affect your sleeping pattern. And so for the first 3 weeks, I had terrible insomnia. I could not rest, and I was always tired. It was frustrating, and I would try all sorts of things. I would try chamomile tea, meditation, and I would try sleeping sounds, but nothing was working for me. I became so agitated, so annoyed, and everything was just frustrating me, and I would just become so upset, which was just also affecting my mental health. So to try tackle the situation of my lack of sleep, I got in touch with my doctor and my therapist, who helped me with a bit of sleep therapy. And my therapist suggested that I get more light into my room. My windows were tinted. So I decided to do something fun, I guess. Because I was living by myself, I moved my mattress to the kitchen, and I set up a little bed. Because there was more light coming into the kitchen, it would force me to wake up. So another thing I was told to do if I could not rest was to drop my phone, stop watching Netflix, and get up and pace around my corridor, which I would do. I felt a bit like a madman, just walking up and down by myself in my flat, but it would work. So as someone who has faced multiple challenges from sleeping, I can tell you that there is a difference between sleeping and restful sleeping. And I think a lot of us during the lockdown have been facing troubles with sleeping, either too much sleep or no sleep at all, because your mind is constantly racing. And my advice to you, from what I've learned, is that practice mindfulness. Try to get up and do something that will make you tired to the point where you're falling asleep and you are not a victim to your thoughts. Some of the things that I do to keep my mental health at bay is taking walks to get some fresh air. I read books on depression. I research on depression. I also write a blog that is open to the public so that you can read and learn things from my experiences, which also just helps me clear my mind. So it's a win-win situation. For the longest time, I felt like I was alone in my journey of anxiety and depression and all that I've been facing. And when I realized that I'm not alone, I wanted other people to feel safe as well. And because of that, I've become so open about my mental health and I share what I've learned or what I've been told so that anyone who needs the help can benefit from that, especially when it comes to people from back home in Zimbabwe. Our community isn't one that has accepted mental health to the extent that it should, and this is a journey, and the only way we can do this is by having these open discussions to the world, and you never know who you could help.